What's up, gang? Welcome to another exciting episode of 16 Steps. My name is Jason, and I'll be your host today. Today, we are going to talk about conditional locks, or conditional trigs, on the analog rhythm. We went over fill last week. We're going to go over a few more today. And let's get started on that right now. So we're going to start with some probability. We'll set a trig there. And then what we'll do is we'll change this to the percent, which means it's basically like rolling a dice. And every time it loops the segment, the dice gets rolled again. So if you have it at 100%, or 99% I should say, that means it will hit 99% of the time. If we have it set to 50%, it will only hit half the time. But like I said, it rolls the dice every time. So there's a 50% chance that it will get hit and a 50% chance that it won't. So the thing that's important to know about this is that this is the only one that the other trigs will be reading. So what do I mean by read? Well, if we look at some of these other trigs, which we can do, let's put another one there. And then what this does, there are different situations. Last week we covered fill. This week, pre only works if the previous is true. So that means it will only do it at the same time that that one gets on. So this one's at 19%, but for this demo we're going to put it at somewhere around 50%, because what I want you to see is that this one will only trigger when this one gets triggered. It won't trigger any other time. Now the other pre means that it will trigger only when this note does not trigger. So if it is set to pre with a line on top, that means it will only do it when the previous trigger is not true or active, like this. So you can see that when this one hits, this one doesn't. And then when this one doesn't, this one does. So that's pretty cool. Next up is the neighbor tracks. So the neighbor track always reads the track just before it. So it is like this one reads this track. So let's try this. Let's take this trig off. We'll go to the snare drum track, and we will put that there. And just like the previous one, it will do it whenever the neighbor gets triggered. So it's reading 1. So that looks like this. So you see what happens is when our kick drum triggers, the snare also triggers on the next one. Now the thing that's important is that the pre button and the pre trigs, they don't get read. So if you have it set to read the trigger off of this one, it won't read it. It only reads the original percentage. So the next one is going to be the neighbor with the line on top. Neighbor with the line on top, guess what? Doesn't get triggered when the neighbor does. So see how that works? Okay, now let's make this just a little bit more interesting here. Let's do this. We're gonna make an actual beat on this one. So let's go ahead and clear this pattern, and then I'll start over. I want to use some quantization here, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the global quantize. 74 is like my lucky number. Today we're gonna use 82. Totally unlucky. Okay. So let's go ahead and put in a snare on the 2 and the 4. Remember, when we count beats, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can tell that they're set up to work in 4/4 because they have like the little box around it. See the 8, no box. The 9 has like the little box. That indicates the beats. So we got snares on the 2 and the 4. Okay, and then we're going to put this one right on the first track, on the first step, so that it sounds like this. We're going to put a kick there. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to put on our little, on this guy actually, we're going to make it so that this one only happens on the first time. So that's the first time the loop plays, it does that. And then what we can do is, why don't we go ahead and we'll copy this one. One pattern copied. And then what you could do is paste it there. So now let's go to 15. We're looking at this. That plays on the first one. And then this one, we'll make it do it on all but the first one. So this one sounds like this. Okay, so that's about it for the other trig conditions. Okay, so that's about it for the conditional trigs or locks. Next week we're going to go over the retrig feature, which is pretty cool. So if you guys have questions or comments, hit me up down below. Don't forget to like or subscribe this stuff if you'd like it. Got more stuff coming. Podcast is up, Form the Head, working on a release. I have a show coming up at the end of the month. the end of December, sorry. And my hope is to walk you guys through that, what I do to get ready and how my shows go. Who knows, maybe I'll even bring the old camera phone out into public and like put some of that stuff on there. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. I do this because I want to share my knowledge. I've been producing music for a long time, and I just want to help other people because so many others have helped me along the way. And I just want to give back, do the best I can, and hopefully teach you guys something new. Until next time, peace.